And we are on the air.
Hello. Oh my god.
We're live from Sydney, Australia.
What? Nope.
Crikey, it's
I wish.
wild Caitlin.
Oh my god, what's happening right now?
I've been alone for too long.
Story of my fucking life.
Hi.
Oh my god. Well, hello everyone. That's not how I thought we were going to start the show, but I'm excited about the energy.
It came into my brain about 3 seconds before we started recording, so you're welcome.
That makes a lot of sense. I was going to say, you gave me no indication that we were going there.
That was not the
But
plan.
I'll take it. I like it. I like the energy.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day. I love Valentine's Day.
I was going to say, my energy immediately seeped out. I'm
I'm
it's
excited.
another Galentine's for me.
I'm excited for this Valentine's Day because
Well,
Valentine's Day.
Anything tops last year.
I don't know. I mean, it was a lovely gift. I got to spend last Valentine's Day getting cheated on and getting in a car accident.
Yeah.
So this year is gonna be better.
One can hope.
Yeah. Yep.
But
That is true.
we hope everybody's having a great Valentine's Day, including ourselves.
Yes. Including ourselves. If you have a Valentine, I hope you are sharing all of the love. If you do not have a Valentine, you're wrong because you have us.
It's true. We're your Valentines. Or if you don't like us, stop listening. Or have like a Galentine's Day.
No, you don't actually have a choice.
And if you don't have any friends either, bake yourself a cake. Go buy yourself those chocolates. You know, have a bubble bath.
But wait until a couple days after when they're all on sale.
Thanks, Mom.
Well, you gotta be cost effective.
I mean, yeah.
If you're feeling sad, the last thing you need to do is also be broken sad. So you gotta be cost effective in your sad buying.
This
Trust
is to me,
I know.
not to them. You're directing that advice at me.
If you feel
if
that
the shoe fits.
yeah. Hopefully, my Valentine's Day is going better. Hopefully, your Valentine's Day is going lovely.
And hopefully it's better than some of the cases we're going to cover today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's that too, hey?
Yeah, we're doing Valentine's Day crimes.
Whoop whoop.
I'm Kate,
And I'm Jane, and this is Creeps and Coffee.
a show where we talk about the dark parts of the world around us
Cryptids, conspiracies, things that go bump in the night.
and the crimes behind the scariest creatures of all, humans.
Join us as we take a look at the stories sure to give you the creeps.
Pull up a seat, grab a coffee,
And let's have a chat. So, love. Love Day.
It can really fuck you up, hey?
I love Love Day on The Sims.
Love Day on The Sims. I actually don't enjoy Love Day on The Sims.
Really?
Because going on dates on The Sims, particularly we're talking about The Sims 4, it's just exhausting sometimes.
I mean, yeah. That's also
just-
like real life, though.
I mean, yeah. It's a day about romance. Real life. I'm not talking about The Sims anymore. It's a day about romance. It's a day about celebrating the little things in life that we love about each other.
And sometimes it's about mass murder.
And sometimes it drives people crazy. And that is what we're talking about today. As I do with all of our true crime-based episodes, particularly with something like this. Obviously, we're talking about this for entertainment purposes. But it's important to acknowledge that all of these cases are real people with real lives and real consequences to the circumstances surrounding either a death, an abuse, whatever the case may be, and what we're going over. So I don't want to gloss over the fact that, yes, these are Valentine's-themed crimes, things that happened on Valentine's Day, But they are, at the very base of it, things that happened.
Yeah.
And it's important to acknowledge that they are real. The people are real. These are not just stories. And there's repercussions to discussing these things. I'd also like to say, because I think it's important to point out, especially when you're talking about, in particular cases about couples, that abusive relationships are a very real thing. I do not in any way want any conversation about this to make it seem like we are glossing over how that can be, that we're glorifying any aspect of this, because it's really hard. It's really hard to get out of a situation where things are not healthy. Unfortunately, there's too many times where it gets to a point where boundaries are crossed and things are no longer safe for whatever party in the relationship. So if you have found yourself in this position, or if you currently find yourself in a position where you don't feel safe in your relationship, you're struggling to leave, you're struggling with any of those things, we're going to put some resources in the description on places. I mean, for us, it'll likely be places in Canada, possibly in the US, where you can reach out to get some help. But please don't hesitate to use those resources. Because as much as this is a fun episode and we're excited to talk about all of the things, Valentines and this whole kind of theme, it's also important to acknowledge that love is not an easy thing. Sometimes what looks like love is not. And if you need help to get out of that situation before it becomes a situation like some that we're going to discuss today, please know that you are important. You are more than whatever relationship you're in, and you're not in this by yourself.
Well said.
I promise it's going to be a lot more lighthearted, but
well, it's almost pretty much exactly like our Christmas episode this past year. Those were real people. It's just some of the circumstances, like getting stabbed with a ceramic chipmunk, are interesting to talk about.
that's the thing. And you can't acknowledge the interesting and the quirky or whatever aspects of things like this without also acknowledging the realistic parts behind it. So as fun as it is, as much as we are going to have a lighthearted episode, I wouldn't feel right having the conversation without also acknowledging that sometimes it's not okay. Before we jump into talking about, because our episode is My Bloody Valentine, which is also a fantastic Good Charlotte song, just saying. But I think people tend to gloss over the fact that the story of Cupid is not a cute one.
I don't know it very well. If you want to history us,
I would love to history us about.
It sounds familiar, and I remember that character from Monster High who was a Cupid. Cupidette or whoever.
Yeah, no, that was it. Cupidette.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the story of Cupid he's not a cute little cherub who goes around and is just, goofy and wants everybody to fall in love. Being struck by Cupid's arrow was, a super negative thing. I think, a good example of it, the consequences of it in Greek mythology, a lot of it was, it was also clumsy, and some of it was pointed and purposeful. He would shoot 2 different types of arrows. If you were struck by one type of arrow, you would fall in love with the first thing you saw. If you were struck by another, you would be repulsed by whatever you saw. So a good example of that is the story of Narcissus.
Oh, I know Narcissus.
Getting struck by Cupid's arrow, looks and first thing he sees is the reflection of himself in the water. And that's why we have narcissists. And trust me, I have had plenty of Valentines with those. But Cupid's arrows were a scary concept in Greek and Roman mythology because they carried with it so much power. And the power came from lust, it came from attraction, and it came from this innate otherworldly devotion that was not always reciprocated. And there's so many stories in Greek and Roman mythology where essentially Cupid fucks up and ruins everything for other people. The origin story of Cupid, essentially, when we think about, like, Love is Blind. So Psyche, this woman, was considered one of the most beautiful women. Some considered her, like, the reimagination.
I thought that was Aphrodite.
Will you shut up? Considered her the reconfiguration of Venus, who was this major beauty, and this pissed Aphrodite off.
Got it.
Because she was supposed to be the goddess of beauty. She was also the mother of Cupid, or Eros, who he was in Greek mythology. So Cupid was essentially hearing his mom complain about all of this stuff. People used to come to Aphrodite's temple to worship her, and now Psyche is getting all of this attention. So she asked her son to use one of his arrows to make Psyche fall in love with the ugliest man in the realm. So the point of it was for him to strike her and trick her and have her essentially in this terrible, loveless, ugly marriage. Cupid, being the obedient son that he was, because you have to be when your parent is a Greek god, if we've learned anything from mythology, went to shoot an arrow at Psyche because he saw her making eye contact with the ugliest man in the crowd. But the moment he saw her, he fell in love. He got distracted. He dropped the arrow, which fell on his foot and pricked him, and he fell in love with Psyche. Couldn't marry her because he was a god, she was a mortal, and Aphrodite would have been furious. So, essentially, Zeus became Cupid's wingman here and was like, okay, well, how do we introduce Psyche into Cupid's world? So Zeus had an oracle tell Psyche's father that she was fated to marry a demon, and that it was his job as a father to drop her at this mountain peak so that this demon who she was fated to be with could take her away. Dad freaked out, obviously, fair, but trusted Zeus, which is his first mistake. She obviously couldn't see who this supposed demon was. Cupid took her to a palace, kept her in the dark. He explained to her that the rules of their marriage were that since he's a demon, he cannot be witnessed by a mortal. So the only rule of the marriage was that she was not allowed to look at him. He would only visit her at night when all the lights were out and leave before sunrise.
This sounds familiar now.
Yes. She couldn't make any contact with her family, and servants would take care of everything. That was the only rule. She could do what she wanted. She could not look at him. So he visited every night, and she got this feeling that he was not telling her the truth because she's curious as to who she's married to. Naturally, I think that's fair.
Yep.
So she coaxed him to let her talk to her sisters and allow them to visit. The sisters started plotting with her and told her to hold a lamp over his face when he falls asleep to see how he looks. She tried not to get caught doing this, realized that she was married to Cupid, who was not a demon and was the son of Aphrodite, making him one of the most handsome gods that he could possibly be. Cupid woke up, startled her, she panicked, and when she panicked, the hot oil from the lamp fell into Cupid's eyes and blinded him. He left, said the only rule was that you cannot see me. So this is what happens. So he left, went back to his mom, Psyche found out where he was. Aphrodite already didn't like Psyche, didn't like what was going on. Told her that she could only see her husband, she could only see Aphrodite's son, if she completed a bunch of impossible tasks. But out of love, out of desperation, out of that blind devotion, Psyche completed the impossible tasks. He forgave her, they sorted their shit out, they lived blind, he lived blind, but blinded by love. And they continued their romance for the rest of their time. So there's nothing about the original story of Saint Valentine, of Cupid, of all these things that is like actually romantic or actually like positive. Cupid was an idiot. He was manipulative. He was blind. Like, it was a shit show. Which is very reminiscent of what real love actually is. But the story of Valentine's Day and why we use Cupid as a figure for that just adds to the complicated aspect of what we're going to talk about today.
No more talking for you.
No. Thank you for letting me get that out, because I felt like I was holding in a sneeze trying to figure out what that story was.
Well, it pertained to our topic, so it was a good history.
Thank you.
Now, mob murder.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're segueing into.
Beautiful.
Very romantic. In February 14th, shocker, 1929, we have an infamous St. Valentine's Day massacre by a little known guy. You may have heard of him. Not super popular. Al Capone.
What?
Does it ring any bells for you? I don't know.
Never heard that name in my life.
Yeah. So, this guy is one of the most famous gangsters ever. And in Chicago, I don't know if I mentioned that, he decided to take out, not in a romantic sense, one of his main rivals. I don't know how to say this dude's name. An Irish gang boss called George Bugs Moran.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? Yeah. Bugs for short.
I would like to point out that part of my family are Morans.
Oh, that's awkward. Oh. Well,
That's
sorry
funny.
I'm talking about your family's death, Caitlin.
That's fine.
So Al Capone's gang lured 7 of Caitlin's relatives to a warehouse, or like a garage, that morning, dressed as police officers.
Why? Why were they fighting?
I don't know.
Jamie.
Caitlin.
It's 1929.
War?
Chicago. No.
The Prohibition.
The Prohibition. They're fighting. There's a major problem that the government is not allowing the sale of liquor. So everything is off the books.
And
It's
they're Italian,
under the
so
table.
they need their alcohol? Is that what you're saying?
No. No.
The Irish and Italians are alcoholics? Is that what you're saying, Caitlin?
Well, yes. But I can say that. But it's a valid business. People want to drink. And
Yeah, they do, brother.
yeah. And when everything is under the table, it's really a matter of who gets to bring the goods in. And the Italian mob and the Irish mob were head to head in everything that they did. And liquor sales was no different. So Capone's gang wanted to get the Irish out of there. They didn't want any competition. They wanted to make sure that Prohibition was their moneymaker. And the only way they could do that was by getting rid of Bugs.
Taking him on a date. Wink, wink.
Make him sleep with the fishes.
I was just gonna make a joke about going for a swim in the river. So the Italians, won't get graphic. They lined all the men up against the wall and then shot them. And killed them in cold blood.
Yes.
And that is why it's called, like, the St. Valentine's Day Massacre.
Mm-hmm.
Quite literally, so.
Yeah, it was considered one of the most violent killings from his gang.
Was it symbolic? Like, couldn't they have waited a day for everyone to, like, be with their lovers?
I don't think they really gave a shit, quite
Okay.
frankly.
That's a little rude, but okay.
It became symbolic, I can tell you that. It was the symbol of the violence of the Prohibition era, particularly in Chicago. Because Chicago was one of the big cities. It was a big trading place. And when it's run by gangs, especially a gang like Al Capone's, it's a hub for all of this violence.
All that for beer and champagne and absinthe? I don't know.
I love that after beer, the only liquors you could think of were beer, champagne, and absinthe.
What's the next crime, Caitlin?
I don't even... What a...
That's the episode, guys. Would you believe it that I came up with this idea for this episode? I'm like, this sounds great. So this, and you're like, what about it? And I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
What about it?
That's what I'm here for. I like that I asked you a history question. I was like, why?
Yeah, it's foolish of you to think I knew the answer to that.
Yeah, that was on me. But yes, the St. Valentine's Day massacre was a big deal. Unfortunately, not the only massacre that occurred on Valentine's Day. Another really, unfortunately, infamous case that it's become, not 1929, we're going to fast forward a little bit to 2013. Valentine's Day in 2013, a South African former Olympian, was he an Olympian? I don't know. I'm pretty sure he was. He was
really famous in sports.
Yeah, he was a famous athlete. Jamie and I are very good at sports. A South African runner named Oscar Pistorius. He went from being a hero in his field to a murderer. So Oscar Pistorius originally was famous not just for being a runner, but for being a double amputee. So when he was a toddler, he lost parts of both of his legs, and he had to learn how to walk again with prosthetics. He became a fantastic athlete, give credit where credit is due. Became a wonderful athlete with his prosthetic legs, and set up a life for himself. He had a girlfriend named Riva Steenkamp. They lived together. They had a life set up together. And on the morning of Valentine's Day in 2013, Oscar woke up to find that Riva was no longer in bed with him. She was in the bathroom. He heard this noise of her in the bathroom, and for completely unknown reasons, didn't assume that it was her.
Which I have feelings about that.
Yes, I have a lot of feelings about this case. He claims, and still adamantly claims, that he thought it was an intruder, and rather than go in to check, he shot through the door 4 times and killed her on impact. It was a very, very high-profile case for a long time. I remember listening to things about the trial and how back and forth things were, because so many people were adamant that it was an accident. So many people were adamant that there had to be something else going on, because there's no fucking way that you would just jump to the assumption before checking.
Yeah, well, when I hear a loud noise, I'm thinking, what did my cat do? not immediately there's an intruder.
Mm-hmm.
But also, like, what sound was being made that he immediately assumed like, I don't
Personally, without going into too much detail, because this is one of those cases where we could do an entire episode on it.
Yeah.
Without going into too much detail on it, personally, I don't think there was a chance in hell that it was an accident. I don't. And I know a lot of people feel the same way. Oscar remains adamant that it was, and has not admitted guilt as far as I'm aware.
Even to this
But
day.
it was a very, very lengthy trial, and it caused a lot of conversation about what happens behind closed doors in relationships, especially for people in the public eye, and people who are more high profile, and how they have a tendency to get away with more things. At the end of this lengthy trial, Oscar received a 5-year sentence for culpable homicide. So it took about a year for the trial to occur. So 2014, he was convicted for culpable homicide. 2 years later, in 2016, the verdict was overturned. There was an appeal on the case because more evidence came out. Based on how public the trial was, people were quite adamant that this was not enough, and they fought very hard. And after this verdict was overturned, he was resentenced to 13 years in prison for the murder of his girlfriend, which is better. Do I think it's adequate? No. But 13 years is better than 5. I believe as of January of this year, he was released from prison on parole. I'm unimpressed with the justice system for a variety of reasons, but the lack of accountability that was expected of him from the justice system was gross. I think if it weren't for social media and if it weren't for the high publicity of this case, he would have walked free a long time before. And it's unfortunate that everyone remembers him for all the good that he did in the athletic world. And a lot of people tried to kind of sugarcoat things because he was a double amputee and all of this ridiculous things that paid no relevance to the case. And people tend to forget that Riva was a successful model. She did a really awesome job for herself in establishing a life in her own world, and she didn't deserve anything that happened to her. And it's unfortunate that a day that was supposed to be filled with so much love ended up changing history.
Also, speaking of people released from prison, welcome back, Gypsy Rose. I know this is late. We'd love to have you on the podcast.
Oh my god. How expensive do you think it would be to get her on the podcast?
We'll give you $20, Gypsy Rose.
Yep.
And a shout out on social media. Or you can shout out us and give us $20.
Please.
To be on our podcast.
100%. It's a pretty big deal. So
another story we're mentioning today. The wife here is in the wrong. Rare, but it happens. Wait, listen, in true crime, it's almost always the husband. Just gonna say it.
Okay.
This time it was not. So Richard Choke. Richard Choke.
Yep.
Was looking to meet his wife, Stacy Choke, at a local park on Valentine's Day 2010. It was their 3rd wedding anniversary, and Stacy never showed up to this park. And instead, someone named Mr. Results was meeting Richard.
And you know what? It's fucked up, but like that's kind of an iconic hitman name.
No, I like
go
it.
with.
That's unfortunately something from like a movie.
Yep.
And his name was Reginald Coleman in real life. But
It
Mr.
wasn't
Results
Mr.
sounds
Results?
cooler, so he was a personal trainer and a part-time hitman, because you can't make enough money being a personal trainer.
Or a hitman. You gotta...
I mean, if you're a good hitman, sure, but, we can't all be dead shot.
No.
So, Stacy hired him to get Richard's life insurance payout, $500,000. No comment. That's a lot of money. So apparently Stacy was cheating on this dude, unfortunately. And I think he was like her 5th husband or something. But she also accused him of molesting one of her kids. Poor Richard is dead. But she never got her insurance payout.
I think it's disgusting that you're right. It was her 5th husband. He adopted her 3 kids from one of the other 4 marriages.
Yeah.
He went out of his way to give this woman a fantastic life, take on her kids like they were her own. They were his own, sorry. And she still... They were hers. You are correct. And she still had the audacity to make an accusation like that once he's already dead. He's not there to defend himself. And thank God that the son in question was more like his adopted father than his mother, and actually stood up and said, no, this is not what happened. I was not molested. But I think it's disgusting to use a child as a pawn in all of this.
Yeah.
But it's also... When women do something like this, it's very easy for them to manipulate the system with a circumstance like this. So, not only was she cheating the entire time, was she the one that was in the wrong, not only was she manipulating the entire situation, but she knew that because she was a woman, she had a higher chance of getting away with it if she cried. And I think that's such a disheartening aspect of it, because the sad reality is Jamie's right that 100% it is more often than not the men who are harming their partners. But it's so not taken seriously when the tables are turned. And I think it's equally as important of a conversation to have that so many men are not taken seriously because they're saying that their wife or their girlfriend is abusing them, whether it be physically, emotionally, whatever. They're not taken seriously because they should, quote unquote, step up and be the man and put an end to it. Put the woman in her place and do whatever. The point of the matter is, stop abuse. Like, if you don't want to be in a relationship with somebody, don't. There is no need to treat people like shit, whether they're male, female, non-binary, whatever. Just stop treating people like shit. Understand that if you're not happy, leave. Don't cheat. If you're not getting the results you want from someone's growth, there's no need to abuse them into doing what you want. Leave.
Find someone else.
Exactly. Like, I don't understand it.
I don't either. I've never abused anyone.
No, I've never... That's the thing, too. Like, I have never looked at any of my partners and been like, wow, I just think you deserve this. Like, that's not even... No normal human being has that conceptual idea
Most of the
a
time
relationship
it's the
like
opposite.
that. That's what you want, someone who says, I want to protect you, not someone who says, I want to hurt you. But as sad as it is when circumstances like this happen, it baffles me how much stupidity also comes out of it.
Yeah.
And that's what drew me to our last story for today. So, also in 2013, apparently that's my jam today. The year 2013. What a year.
What a year for romance.
What a year for romance. On Valentine's Day of 2013, a 39-year-old Baptist minister named Nathan Leuthold called 911 and told police that his home had been robbed. There was a home invasion, someone came in, and when police arrived, they found his wife, Denise, dead. She'd received one gunshot wound to the head, which proved to be fatal. So it wasn't quite an Al Capone, hundreds of bullets shot into a wall. It was one single gunshot wound.
That's enough?
That's more than enough.
Yeah.
That'll do it. Things already didn't look great for Nathan. Unfortunately, statistically speaking, when only one partner is murdered, the first person the police are going to look at is the other partner, the living spouse.
Common sense.
Because my favorite thing is when friends at weddings are like, statistically speaking, you're now looking at the person who is most likely to murder you.
Well, sometimes people are looking to your $500,000 life insurance payout.
Well, exactly. So he's already the first suspect. Things continued to not look good for him when police found Google searches on his computer, like how to hit someone over the head to knock them out, and my personal favorite, how to muffle a gun. I am not advocating for murder. I'm
Case
not.
closed.
I swear to God. But if you're gonna murder somebody, don't Google how to do it.
Do better.
Like, just... You're not Mr. Results over here. That's all I'll say.
Well, like, first of all, I'm probably on a watch list for the stuff I Google when we're doing true crime episodes.
100%.
But also, yeah, if you're like, I would like to kill ABC, doesn't matter who, maybe don't Google it from your computer on your Google account.
At least...
And leave the search history. Go to a public lab. I'm not going to tell you how to do it. Do it.
No, but you're... just do better. Do
Yeah.
something different than this. Quite frankly.
That's like
I
people
just-
who have like child porn on your computer. It's on your computer. Guilty. It's right there. Like, you got caught. Sorry. Jail. Goodbye.
There is no denying it. It is on your computer. And I don't think people realize, too, just because you clear your search history, it's still embedded. Like, you can't get rid of the traces of things.
Wish I could tell that to 14-year-old Jamie.
100%. I wish I could tell that to current Kate. But you are going to implicate yourself in something like this if you are Googling these things and then your loved one gets murdered.
Yep.
Like, it's not rocket science. It's murder, but it's not rocket science.
Yeah.
And I
we're
feel like
good
that's-
because nobody has been murdered in our vicinity yet.
No. And
But if
most
somebody
of
does,
your-
we will get questioned by the police.
Yes. But to be fair, most of your Google searches are just things that are spelled wrong.
Blue
And-
Dragon, Dungeons and
How-
Dragons. How to make chocolate
make
chip
money.
cookies without chocolate chips.
How to make money, Spot Fit podcast. My personal favorite.
I like the ones where it's just, I just typed M a bunch of times.
Fermium. Sorry. Nathan, our murderer in question,
Right.
got 80 years in jail for the murder of his wife, which
Fair.
is significantly better than what the last guy got.
Yeah.
Way better than 13 years. Very unfortunate for Denise's family.
Wait, also, he called the police.
Yeah.
You called 911 on yourself.
Mm-hmm.
If you really didn't want to get caught, why not just hide the body? Say, oops, she cheated on me and left. I'm so sad.
There's
get rid of the body.
There's a John Mulaney bit, and there's no evidence that Denise cheated. I would just like to point that out. That's just Jamie and I.
Yeah, that's
things
just
out there.
Yeah.
That's the end of that story. This is now a separate idea, just to be clear. There's a John Mulaney bit, my favorite comedian of all time, where he talks about how he never understood how another person could look at another human being and want to take away their life. And he's talking about that, and he talks about how unbelievable it is to think about taking the humanity away from someone. And then he goes, and then I got cheated on. And I was like, oh, okay. And I
understand.
Never agreed with the sentiment more. And I, again, not advocating for murder. That's not okay.
Nor
but
are we
sometimes
advocating
I'm
for
like,
cheating.
Sometimes I'm like, I get it. Just saying.
So that's what we have to say for Valentine's Day, guys. Cheat on people and then kill them.
No. If you cheat on people,
kill them.
No, don't. Just no.
I don't think we're on the same wavelength here.
No, I don't think we are.
Kill people and then cheat on them?
Oh my God.
Cheat with them? Cheat together. And then die. Together. Romeo and Juliet.
Oh my God. My point is, if you cheat, I'm not going to feel that bad if you die.
Oh.
Jamie is apparently saying you should cheat on your partner and then kill them. That's what you were saying.
That was a joke, though. I don't actually mean that. Don't take that as advice. I would cry if anyone ever cheated on me.
Yeah, it's
I cry when
fun.
people cheat at games that I'm playing.
Jamie cries when people cheat on me.
That's also true. And I cheat. No, I almost said I cheat. I cry when people cheat. No. We've said cheat too many times. I cry when people accuse me of cheating at Monopoly. Because
it's true. I have accused her of cheating, and it has ended in tears.
Because I'm not cheating. I'm just good at it.
I don't know about that. I still...
And this. Take me away from my misery.
All of this to say, love is fucked.
And love is love.
Love is love, absolutely. Love whoever you want to love. But if you are already in a relationship, if you're already in a relationship, maybe don't love somebody else while you're in one. Anyway.
And no having sex with animals, please.
Also that. Anyway, the point of this being, Valentine's Day is a very commercialized holiday that glorifies all of the gushy parts of love. Do I love that? Absolutely. I am the gushiest person I know. However, just like the real story of Cupid, things are not always as they seem. Love can be blind, love can be bloody. And when you blind yourself with all of the perfect commercialized aspects of love, it takes away from the harsh reality that love is not perfect. Mm-hmm. It never will be. Whether we're talking romantic love, whether we're talking platonic love, whether we're talking self-love, it is a giant roller coaster of ups and downs and loops, and no ride to love is ever going to be easy. I am living proof. Happy to tell you that regardless of anything, whether you're in an up right now, whether you're in a down right now, whether you don't really know what kind of ride you're on, love is still there. And despite all of the negative experiences that can happen on a Valentine's Day or any other day of the year, despite circumstances that may be covered in glitter but may be a little bloody and shitty underneath, love is still there. And doesn't matter if it's Valentine's Day, doesn't matter if it's any other day of the year, love will always be there. So it's important to acknowledge that shitty things can happen on beautiful days. Beautiful things can happen on shitty days. But if we put some more love out into the world, less stories like this will happen.
Love thy neighbor.
Yep. I have nothing to say to that. I can say with a full heart that I am grateful for the love that I have in my world. I am grateful for the friendship that Jamie and I have, and that we get, is it 17 or 18 years now of Valentines?
17 or 18, somewhere around there.
Too many years of Valentines.
Love you.
I am happy that we get to share our love for this show, for all of you. Like we said at the beginning, if you're feeling alone this Valentine's Day, you're not. You've got us, if nothing else. We love you guys very much. We've got something special in the works to show you how much we love you. Hopefully, we'll be able to chat more about soon.
Wink, wink.
But in the meantime, if you would like to share your stories of love, of heartbreak, of insane Valentine's Day experiences, you can send us a message or a DM over on our Instagram or our Twitter at creepsandcoffee. You can send us an email at creepsandcoffee@gmail.com. If you would like to follow along with our journey and get a behind-the-scenes look at our caffeine-fueled recording sessions, you can check out our Buy Me a Coffee page, which is buymeacoffee.com/creepsandcoffee. We love you. We love sometimes. And please don't kill each other.
Yeah, happy love day.
Happy Love Day.
As the Sims would say. How do you speak Simlish? Zerbop Mini.
Bye!
Yahoo!
Creeps and Coffee is produced and edited by us, Kate and Jane.
Our theme music is Stuck in a Hole by Dated.
For more information on where to find them, check out the link in our show notes. And to connect with us, follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Creeps and Coffee.